Hello and welcome to the next of this series, which is about this LEGO room and of course my life. Now this is a continuation of the One Piece / Bricklink designer program Pirates bits and pieces that are going to be coming out, and it's had a knock-on effect because we had to move some of the Lord of the Rings bits and pieces, and now they are all underneath this table. But we have made space with all the base plates that have been put down, and I think it does look nice, clean and fresh, and it is all ready for the new bits and bobs. So what we are going to be doing is we are now going to be expanding and base plating our Lord of the Rings / mythical section. Now the last time we were underneath this table, the video was about 2 and a bit hours long, and it's safe to say it has already gone horrendously wrong. So with that being said, let's get to it. So the light is back on, and I had actually already started this upload and everything got corrupted. So I basically now need to play catch up with you of the stuff that I've already said so I don't forget bits and pieces. So if you remember when we were underneath here last, there was all of the Christmas sets and all those little bits and pieces like that. That was all clear. So I managed to clear all of that. It was a very, very busy morning. I was waiting for these base plates to arrive. All of those got cleared off. And then what I've done is I've just put another 2 of these down over there, which is another 3 base plates. So we've expanded this by 3 base plates, and you can see that I've started to put some base plates down. So we're 9 base plates deep. Can't be a problem with that, can you? No. However, check this out. So we had, when I say a problem, a very big problem. This upload would have been massive and it would have been comedic, because I put the first 3 down. I knew roughly how much of the space I could sort of designate to Lord of the Rings, because we kind of had it already. So it was just a case of base plates down, start to move the bits and pieces over. And then I had to move everything back off because of this. So this, as we know, is tighter here. And I thought we were only going to be able to get 2 base plates in, but we haven't. We've actually managed to get 3. So what we've got is we have got a row of 3 there and another row of 3 there. So we've got 6 green. So I need to put that back. This is where it got very problematic. There's a door just behind that table. Now, the bottom part of that door had kicked. And if you actually watch the last long upload, you will see that this was not flush. Now this is pinned against the wall, and this is pinned against the bit of wood, and it is wedged, and it works fine. But the amount of swearing and time that it took to be able to get those 3 base plates in was unhealthy. I managed to get to that point, went to copy and paste the stuff off the memory card basically last night, all gone. So you'll have to take my word that it was an absolute royal pain in the backside, because of course the Super Mario bits and pieces are in the process of being built on that table, so I couldn't pull the table leg out, I couldn't move the bits. So what I actually ended up doing was moving all the stuff off, moving all the base plates off, pulling the table about yay far forward, lifting it up, and I was just hitting it as hard as I possibly could to get it back in. There's a big metal clip that it needed to pop in. It honestly took about 20 minutes of filming of me crying to get that in, and now I just thought I'd have to stop because it got too hot. And then, yeah, lost everything because I think the camera got too hot. So I did jinx myself in that upload twice. Because I said, I think it's too hot up in here. I shouldn't be doing it. And, well, there we go. So I have a bit of a plan roughly for the first bits, because they were already down. But then from the black bit onwards, which is where the base plate of the Lord of the Rings is going to go, that was another faff. Because I started to put it down, got to the eyeball, we started to move the eyeball over, and I had no black base plates. So I actually had to go round the back of the Joker Manor, and we picked up some base plates from there. So we have all the base plates I have with regards to green that's available. We'll see how far they go. And if you remember at the end of the upload, I said I was going to bin off the Disney bit and we're going to put it over by the Star Wars. No longer the case. because after a good conversation with Jay's Toy Collection UK, he said, why don't you do a good versus evil mythical sort of walkthrough? And we're bouncing loads and loads and loads of ideas around. And what we're going to do is I'm going to, with this extra space, I think, fingers crossed, because it's an extra 3 base plates, we should have enough space for the Snow White cottage and the Winnie the Pooh, and potentially the Beauty and the Beast castle, and the Bricklink designer program where it's the huge tree trail. So if we use the Bricklink designer program as the main entry into this land, you go on a nice mythical walkway, in you come one way, out you go the other. I can path it all, I can make it all look neat and tidy, and then we should be golden and good to go, he says. So we are keeping with the same principle of trying to have the Rivendell all the way across, and you can see that we have got so much more space just adding it in, because yeah, the Rivendell came actually, yeah, we have got just 2 more. I've just put 2 more down to remember what I did last night. It was very hot yesterday. So I need to get this light repositioned, because of course I had to move everything to try and get that thing in. I could not, honestly, could not believe it. I couldn't have made it up if I tried. It couldn't have been any more wrong or funny if it was written, to be honest, because from here you couldn't see it. And it wasn't until I went to put the base plate in, because it's all flush at the top, and with it not being flush at the bottom, and obviously how these table legs are, what we're doing is we're going to have, obviously we've got 6 on that bit, and then now, because I've started to pull, as you can see, we've now got a gap between all of them, as you know. This will now be 3, 3, 3. So we're going to have what we've got up top, and then that will start to wrap round into the Star Wars section, and then hopefully we'll be good to go. So you need to go somewhere where you can see. I'm just going to carry on crawling around. And yes, so we'll just basically now carry on. So hopefully this first bit should go smooth-ish. If you are eagle-eyed, when some bits and pieces were happening, I did knock a little bit more of the top of this tower off, which is just a standard Disaster Series upload. But all the bits have moved from there, and obviously the Bowser and the Mario are in the process of being finished. So obviously there'll be the uploads of that coming sooner rather than later. But this corner is going to be very, very awkward, because I'm kind of stuck against you and right, where are we going with this? Right, so that is all closed together, so that is happy days. Right, so this now will fit in, which is not a problem, because I had that in already. I know that was in, that's fine. And the waterfall will fit behind it, because funny enough, well, I've done that already. So I probably should have put that in first, but never mind. Beautiful. Right, there's a line that up a little bit better, and then now you can then see just the fight I had to put up. Oh no! With all of this, I've just twisted everything. Are we good? Are we good? Are we good? I think we are. Oh, they were all pinned together. Oh, it was that one that moved. It was the back one. Right, okay. Yeah, so we have, I think, the water into the water. I think that looks quite nice like that. We have got space around the side. If I did that. It's hidden a little bit more. We'll go water into the water to start with, and then I think what I'll do is when the back is clear, we'll have a bit more of a play. So that's basically where I've got to, and then now the base plates, like I said, are down. The plan was to move the eyeball over and basically hope that it fits, because it was ish there. So we're now going to see how far this yellow bit will come right to the edge of the black, and then what's left of green I'm going to put as the trees for the eyeball, the trees of the Rivendell. So now the base plates are down, they're not that easy to slide about. So I was having a good conversation with myself. Oh, please, 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 please. This wouldn't be another good way to start the day if this all went wrong. Right, I'm looking at the top, I'm looking at the bottom. Right, I am maxed out on the yellow. And look how close we are at the top, so we are good. So we've got a little bit of space up there. It's not leveled off of the base plate, the other base plate's not underneath it, and we'll be to the stud on that. So what I want to do now is get the other black base plate in. Oh, he says, which, right. The only problem with me doing it this way is I can't actually see if the base plates have kissed each other. Right, they have there, they're flush, and we are over. Need to go back a bit. What's it stuck on? We're stuck on something, I can't figure it out. There we go. Right, I don't know what's just happened, but it just dropped down. So, right, there we go. To the corner. Oh, that tucks in lovely. Oh, more of that, please. We want more of that today. I could do with more of that today. Right. So the other things to think of is all of these smaller bits as well. We'll put him there as a bit of a photo. Now I think 2 is justifiable. I think that's what we'll do with the 2. I didn't know whether to have, yeah, it doesn't need black in front. I think we'll be okay. We've got a little bit of wiggle room up there. We're to that corner, which is great. So now we just get these trees back in just to fill that corner up, which is guaranteed to go wrong. Do that the other way. That's what was going to happen, wasn't it? Always going to happen. This tree always falls out. Clearly I've not built that right. Alright, so that is there, which means we will have, I think, space for this. Yes. Happy days. That is a nice looking corner. So potentially more trees around the waterfall or anything like that at a later date, but that is where we are at. So the next thing to come over is the Shire, which technically should fit on these green. Technically. So if we can create a nice, oh, it does. Yeah. Well, no, it does, because I've measured it. So, right. So that is, oh, it's giving its own path. Done that all by itself. So you can see here, because it's curved, and because it's curved, we've now got a curved walkway. I've just got to figure out how much space I need at the front of this to how much path we give it at the back. Now we're going to see more bits and pieces at the front, and we have got all of the smaller sets that come up with this, because it does take up a lot of space. So if I was to put that tent right in the corner. I don't know which way. Do it that way. So I put that right in the corner, so they can come in from the next thing. So I'm thinking it's going to be D&D, because that's how we did have it as a rough template. I could go back a little bit. That looks quite nice actually. Then I've got to figure out what we're going to do with the Baggins' birthday. That fills that gap in quite nicely. And we've got the cake. There's the fireworks, don't forget. There's the horse, of course, on the cart. So yeah, before you know it, I came back over that way to be a bit of our photo shoot. You can still get to the restaurant if you want to get to the restaurant. You can walk past that if you want to. Obviously, I'll replace all of these bits and pieces when we start to tile it, but that is kind of just creating its own walkway round, because we come around the back and then we've got all this space to do whatever we want to. Now, next, a lot of colours. That one at the back is obviously going to have to be green, but I do want the D&D. Well, there's two reasons. I want the D&D on blue because I don't have enough green. There's not going to be enough. There just isn't going to be enough green because we've expanded it, and I placed the order before I expanded it. So we're going to have to get a bit creative, I think. Now we will. I tell you what, it's hot by this light. Really need to just leave you alone. You wonder why all the fire would break. Will you stay? Need to put some weight on you to stop you from falling over. Grabbing a tape measure. There we go, magic stuff. Right, so I might as well put the next couple of rows in. I think we're going to have D&D on water. The Disney Castle might as well stay on green. I think that's probably the best thing to do. So what we're going to do then is we'll go water, water, and just looking at that, we should, over this side, we should have 1, 2, 2.5. That should be all right. Ooh, maybe. Right, let's get the next two green ones down, and then what I'll be able to do, if I did that and that, move the mouth over this way. I can get this Disney Castle, see I have to move you again, I can get this Disney Castle as far over now as possible, because we have got, it's going to be interesting because this side over here is where basically all the new stuff is going to go, because this is all extra space, these 3 and a bit. So we have gained a little bit more. I did say in the last video, and I can't remember why we've gained a little bit more. I think it's because it's more space underneath the table, because it's overhanging. There's something. So we've managed to fill more space in that back corner. So we're getting quite a nice sort of clean look as we're putting all of these in. So I can get this Disney Castle basically to the black marker, and that would be ace. This is, we know you're going to be laughing at me now, we know that this is almost impossible because it does not move. the eyeball went, but this is horrendous to get onto base plates, and I still don't know why. How have I not ripped this off yet? Alright, so I just need another base plate over the other side, and I think... Are we gonna be good? Let's push back. Right, there we go. Oh, we might. This might work. This might work. Sounds look nice though. It's starting to look nice. Right, same principle with the D&D. Let's get this at the front. I remember it's in three sections now. I need to give myself as much space as possible. The water's at the front, but the land's on the back. So we can get away with it being on the green. It doesn't have to be like 3 base plates of blue or anything, because this bit that's coming in, this is the... Yeah. Come on. No, it's always something. Always something. Right, so that looks fantastic. That'll work nice. Now, if I have that closer over to this side. Right, this is we're in the very, very important bit now. It's 2 base plates we need for the Bricklink walkthrough. So they're going to have to be in grey, because what I'll do is I will do an under construction display on those. Oh yes, that's fantastic. So we now need, how many have we got left? Right, we need to get this Disney castle complete with the last of the green. We got, look, I think we've got 2 green left. So I'll move you round. So that is Bricklink, fine. And we are 1, 2, and that look, yeah. Oh, this might, you know, might have done a thing for the first time in my life. A good thing that might be happening. Now I'm blocking you off. My bum is in the light, and I just need to get this underneath here, however I can. Oh, get under. Right. That's under. So you can see, get under. Right, you can see what space we're going to have. What space we're going to have left. There's nothing I can do about that. How big is this space in the corner where that bit of wood is? Now, what's this? That might be handy. Hang on. Oh, perfect. That is made to measure. So that isn't even, oh, that means, oh, hang on. That means we can go all the way up and through. Now, I was using them for the Mario upload, so they are handy because they're just here. What do we have? Get one out of the way, it's got big bits on. Be where that goes. That blocks that corner off, and that is going to be roughly where the Disney Castle is going to go. I'm just getting up the measurements for the Disney Castle. I think, have a look, where are we? Lego website, come on, Castle, the Beauty, and there it is, Beauty and the Beast. Come on, be kind, be kind, be kind, be kind, be kind. So the width is 13 inches, depth is only 6. So it's just over half a base plate in depth. So we have got a little bit of wiggle room with this, because we know the grey is going to be the Bricklink design program, but that can obviously come forward ever so slightly because of how we've got that. And we're just going to go straight path underneath this, round the front, round the back, and then round. Now the Bricklink designer program has 2 bits, I think it's 2 trails. So if you were to come in from Star Wars, come through, you would go off one way and go off the other. So really that bit there, I kind of want to keep clear, that sort of one bit there. So that gives us a base plate and a half in length, and I don't need a base plate and a half in length because it's less than that, because it is only 16 inches, 13 inches wide. So it's not as wide as those 2 in the middle, which then gives us that corner free. So if I put a 32 by 32 green base plate there, a load of trees behind it, I wonder if the Snow White's cottage would go there, because that's the other things that we need to fit in. Right, you're getting very, very hot and the battery is just starting to run out. So I'm going to let the camera cool down and then we'll carry on. I can't believe how smoothly this is going after how horrendous it went yesterday. But I think it looks really, nice. All of the Lord of the Rings stuff together, all base plated. Bear in mind, this is obviously the first ever time it's done. You've got those 2, sort of the good versus evil story that can be told within everything. And then, yeah, we just wrap it round into the next section, and we're using the Rivendell as the block. So we need to try and get the Winnie the Pooh, Snow White, Bricklink's done, Beauty and the Beast Castle, and a dio for the dio for the Bricklink. Sorry, yeah, the dio for the Bricklink, which I will do off camera while this is cooling down. So then that's done, because I'm going to forget, and then we can mess around doing the Snow White cottage and the Winnie the Pooh, which is, I think, going to work, because I'm not too sure what we can do with this space. Maybe minifigures. Then we've got another one on the other side, so we will see. Right, we are back at it. Now I've had a little bit of fiddle, and this is what I have done. So because we're going for a tree thing, I thought, well, we'll just do a little tree planting. So that is what this is going to be, and obviously they're going to grow, and then the Bricklink designer program will just kick in, and obviously all of this will move. Now, that's obviously not correct. I want to get a little front loader for that. I was tempted to wait until I ordered the new bulldozer, because this was obviously over by the Apocalypseburg. But I think it actually works quite well, because you're digging it out, planting in new trees and things like that. So I think I'm just going to keep it here. I will add in some more minifigures when I find them. And it is literally obviously something I've just thrown together as the camera is cooling down. So you get the idea, and I obviously get loads of these. These obviously I will get more of and use in front of the Snow White cottage is the plan. So as I'm thinking about it, why not go straight on to that bit just now. Now I think it might look quite nice at an angle, so that is what we will attempt to do. Now before I even carry on with that, I have found another one of these which will be used for our planting of the seeds for the trees. And then I've also found a cement mixer. Now the cement mixer would be perfect for the other side, because we have got a couple of different options for a couple of different displays where these sets are going to be used heavily, and they're just going to be left there for anything up to 8 months to a year at a time, really. So I probably need to get another one of these, because I think a fleet of those would look fantastic. I'm always got space to put stuff, and rather than just clogging it up, it means I can now use the crane properly. I can use this properly with the matching bulldozer as well. It will look great. And when the bulldozer is purchased, I can obviously then do a review of all 3 of them. So yeah, I think it just looks effective, because obviously theme parks always have construction work going, because they tend to knock out the oldest thing, or after it's been in a certain lifespan. So if you didn't catch it, all of these bits and pieces were by the One Piece, but because the One Piece stuff is going to be happening so quickly and it just look cleaner having the water down, I just put the water down, and then now we can do this. Now obviously I probably should have done it the other way around. I should have put this in first, but I was waiting for the camera. I was waiting for the camera to settle, but I think it's only going to be this one set. Yeah, that is going to fit nicely. All right, we'll put that in at the... Oh, it does, yes. Right, put that in at the angle. There's pieces missing from it, but I will sort that out. Now, we have got... The important thing is that at the angle, it's not over that base plate and a half. So where it's green is, I think, is where the Beauty and the Beast castle is going to go. Now, obviously, it's going to be a couple of studs into our building area, which is fine. So I just have to shimmy all of those bits and pieces up. But we do have the space over here, and I can come over a little bit more if need be. But for now it can stay. There's no point getting too panicky about it. The main thing is I need to think of is, like I said before, this Bricklink thing I think has 2 trails. So one will go one way, one will go the other, and you can then just do a full loop all the way around and come back, or you can go out the other way and come back. There is obviously options of me maybe connecting the path where you could do this loop more than once, and then you just come out and escape. So it's kind of like a one-way kind of system. So if that goes there, and that's actually potentially one of the first places that's actually looked right. Now we've got all the little animals and all that kind of thing, and I will add in, as I find them, I'll add in the rest of the dwarfs and things like that, because they are dotted around on the tables, and they are on these things I'm about to grab. So we've got the well, which looks nice. Yeah, I think we're going to just use this corner, and then we've got this thing, and obviously they'll be staggered and stepped when the other base plate gets put down, so that will work nicely. Got to figure out where these trees go. I'm assuming it's actually off this, and I guarantee I'm going to knock it off again and I'll end up repairing it, because I'm going to be moving the Star Wars stuff soon, but I can't remember. Does it go in there? It might do. Generally cannot remember at all. I'm actually looking at this now, fighting it, going, I'm not 100% sure. Oh no, I don't know, because that doesn't look right whatsoever. I'm going to have to get the instructions out for that one. But there's the 2 pieces. There's obviously her sleeping chamber / I need a kiss and a cuddle to wake up. Right, so the last thing, these, I can't believe this is all going to fit. Where does the Winnie the Pooh go? That's the thing. Yeah. I don't want it in front here. I think it's going to... I quite like the fact that this could be open, because I want the option of, if the trail kicks out anywhere on this side, we can then just connect the path up, because obviously this is going to be our way in, way out. For now, I'm going to make up a temporary bit, or I might actually just get the path fully down, and this land won't open until this set arrives. So that's not too much of a problem. So realistically, we've got a bit of a wiggle room with this, which is great. So it can come over if we need that to come over. It's not going to go back anymore because we don't need to, and we've got enough space at the front. We need 6 studs. So it's basically straight line through, round. That's all clear. Where does it open? It opens up there. I think that looked quite nice. Why don't we have it as a hidden photo shoot? Because you'll see the tree from underneath the wing of the dragon. And as they walk round, it could potentially be used as a honey shop, or it could be used as anything else. Now watch me. Oh no, I haven't. I was going to say, watch me knock the dragon off. And it fits. That's incredible. I can't believe this. It's almost like I have actually put some thought process beside it. There's some honey. See, I can think about things from time to time, especially when it comes to eyeballing spaces. Now, we've got the path, goes straight through. See, and it's just coming off. It's not impeding. It is a little bit, but it doesn't matter too much. Bring it back. Now it's not impeding at all on the black, so that's good. But I think I prefer it at that angle, so I don't really care too much. And you can see you can just see the tree coming through. Now I have got, like I said, some running repairs that I need to do. I need to add some minifigures and things like that, which I'm not going to bore you with. But we've got the roof and everything in front of me, which I'll move and then move again. So this is going to keep moving until it gets done. It doesn't get the bigger bits done. Then I can spend a longer period of time doing it. I'm actually shocked, to be honest, that is all in. The bits that you didn't see was really, really panicky, thinking, I don't know if I can get all of these Disney bits and pieces in. So a whole good versus evil type-esque thing. Lots of trees to go in. I've used all the trees from the Winter Village. There is plans for the Winter Village, so that's why those trees have been used straight away, and they will be more will be ordered. I've heard rumours that there's supposed to be a double points coming soon, so when that happens, I'll place an order for some bits and pieces. And I'm just going to put. I think I'm going to put trees all over. I think that's what's needed. It just needs loads of trees scattered around. It needs just a very, very simple path for it to be this mythical walkthrough. Fill it with all of the Caste, which is obviously going to be all the Dungeons and Dragons, which I can't wait just to get them out and put them on, because I'll get around to doing that when we repair the other little bits and pieces. I can't remember if it was in the last upload that I was moving this, or it was in the bit before it all went wrong. The dragon fell off the castle and somehow her legs disappeared. And I don't know where the leg's fallen into. It must have fallen somewhere into the actual castle itself. So I said for you guys to remind me that it's in there, and you didn't, but then I don't think you heard it. And the other thing is his jaw. There it is. His jaw fell off. So that is going back on. For me, this piece falls off all the time. That looks a little bit better, see? So now his jaw and mouth is on, and they're all down and in. So I am happy about that. I think those two, I don't know what you're looking at me for. I think those two big things look great as a pair. There'll be lighting and obviously stuff going underneath. Lots and lots of those trees to add. I'll get rid of the roll. The roll it doesn't need to be rolled. It doesn't need to be packed down. It could be for dirt rather than tarmac, obviously. So there is potential that it could be used, but I think a little front load would make more sense. A little tipper. So that could be used in potentially the display over on that side with the big crane. Because I think we're going to have the big crane and the bulldozer together. So it's either going to go over there, but potentially there might be a better location for it when this Winter Village project sort of happens, because there might be quite a bit of space for a while. So more than likely it might go there. But I enjoy doing these little things and just throwing them in very, very quickly. And like I said, I will make a bit more of an effort, but the fact that we've got plenty of trees around there, it's obviously all all around the side, and obviously that's what they're doing. They're planting all the bits and pieces, like I said, ready for the Bricklink designer program. So I think at last, this has been a very, very long project for me. Like I said, you missed a lot. Lots of swearing. I can't believe it didn't work properly. It was just something out of Faulty Towers / Bottom / any other silly British comedy you can imagine. It could not have been any more of a pain in the backside if it tried. But I'm just sat here looking at all of this going, yeah, I can visualise how all the path's going to work. I've had an accident brown, probably all the way around. I don't think we'll use grey. I don't think we'll use the grey border. I think we'll go 6 studs wide, and we'll go for the dirty sort of this colour. And we can make a pattern with this, because I've got loads of these, rather than the 1x2s. And then I leave gaps, because they're 1x2s. I can leave gaps and then get the single little stud jobs. I think that's probably the best one to go for, because it's a slightly different colour. If I went for a darker brown, I think it would be lost. Whereas at least with the brighter colour, I think you can see. But I will still go for, because that's 4 studs wide over there. So I don't know, go for 4 studs and then put a border. Because everything else that we've done, it's 6, but we've got 2 grey and then colour in the middle. But as it's supposed to represent a dirt track, I'm not going to change the colour as we go round. I think it's all just going to stay the same. And yeah, I'm even going to have the brown over the top of the blue. Could just potentially leave a bit of studs around it and then put the trees in. But until I've ordered the trees, I don't know where they're going to go. But I've got to put the path down first. And using 1x2s, it'll be a lot easier, because where it's a little bit narrow in that far corner down there, it then means I can actually just go from, say, 6 to 4 and then open it back to 6, and then I can fork it off and go a different way for the photo shoots and other little bits and pieces. So keep your eyes peeled for the path. I think that's going to look quite nice. I think I'm going to start the path though from the fireworks from the Lord of the Rings, only because it's only then I've then just got 2 base plates that isn't pathed, and it allows me then to bring that in and round the front to this new Bricklink project, which again, you're looking months and months and months away. And if I'm not opening up this section of the theme park, it means I can at least do it. I can get to a certain point. We're going to need base plates, 1, 2, 3, 4 more base plates for here. A load of base plates for the Mario, because that's going to be green, so I need a lot more green base plates. I need a table's worth of green. So it's going to be another pack or 2 of green base plates. So I'm not going to start pathing it until the base plates are here, and I might as well wait until the castle is being ordered and just do it all at the same time. So this is going to come together very, very, very quickly, and then we're just going to have the bit that's under construction. So if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Let us know in the comment section below if you think this is a good use of space. Hopefully it's just a better use of the Disney stuff. I think it is. I think it's sort of like this much more mystical thing, which could very quickly spiral out of control into other little bits and pieces. Like I said, what you missed was just me adding in 2 more of those white bits, and I think there's space for another 2. So if you think that's the whole of the Rivendell and the trees of space that I can just go back down, so that's another 3 base plates without even trying, I think. Hopefully that's the case, and then I can just expand it this way, and then it can go underneath the table, and of course it'll go around the other way with the Star Wars as well. So I'm gonna get together, I think, where all the Lord of the Rings characters are. I'm gonna get together all of the Dungeons and Dragons characters and just figure out where they all are, and then we can just start adding them in, and then I'll catch back up with you on the next upload. So again, one more time, if you could like the video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But as always, thank you very much for watching, You lot take care and catch you next one.